Yeah, so thank you. It's obviously a great pleasure to be here. First of all, bear a bit with me. I had to wake up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., but yours 3 a.m. because some smartass from SINFO decided to book my flight at 6 a.m. So I'm obviously a bit tired. But as I was saying, it's a big pleasure to be at an event that I followed throughout the years that I was a student here. A lot of familiar faces that I see that unfortunately still didn't end up the course here at IST. If I'm old and I recognize your faces and you're older than me and you're still here, then that's obviously a bad sign. But it is what it is. We all know how hard this could be, and that's why I just ran away to a different country and avoided finish what I had to finish here. So a brief introduction from me. I'm 24 years old. I'm still a student here, even though it's obviously suspended. Soon I will be back. Actually, not really, but one day I expect me to finish and have a normal life. I coached basketball for 2 years. I'm now a League of Legends coach for 5 years. I represented teams like Electronic Generation, For the Win, Kick, the Giants, Schalke 04, and Origen by disorder. I am at the moment a finalist for Coach of the Year at the Portuguese Esports Awards. Won 3 titles in Portugal, 6 in Spain, 2 titles in Challenger Series. And I had to put 1 finals in ULCS, even though that's not a title, so that's a BG. But yeah, and I also won the Coach of the Split award that is right there on the table for the last summer. So until the next award is awarded, I'm still the best coach in Europe. Let's see if I can keep it. So before esports, as I said before, I was a student here. That was a big part of my life and something that helped me a lot going into the esports career. I was also a basketball coach. That's how it kind of started. Before that, I was even a basketball player. Then I had a shitty injury and I had to stop playing. So I just decided to become a coach, female coach, obviously, at Sporting. Coached the under 19 team and also the senior team. Achieved a couple of titles with both. And after that, because all of my teammates, not all of my teammates, but people at my course knew that I was a coach, and there was a university league, a team that, I mean, it was not really your team. You can't stop looking. None of you was playing on that team. But people from IT, they wanted to create a team to go to the University League, and they asked me to help them a bit, and I did, and that's basically how I started my esports career. We went further than what we were expecting. The goal was obviously only the University League, but we qualified to the Portuguese League. And then obviously 3 weeks after, the team broke up because of, let's call it, conflict of interests. Basically, 1 girl, 2 guys, team breaks up, pretty much. After that, I still continue on that same team. We joined an organization called Electronic Generations. This is just some images of the University League and our first qualify to the Portuguese League. After that, I joined Electronic Generations, stayed with that team. We made a couple of changes. I couldn't accomplish anything with that team. I was already really good at that point, but our players were just really bad. So it is what it is. But after that, I joined the main team of Electronic Generations with probably a player that you know as well really well, that now is called Attila. I don't know why I changed the name. Mini is always going to be Mini to me. Mini was on this team already. And the common thing, even though on the kick photo he's not there, he was always with me in every team that we were in Portugal and in Spain. So he was obviously a huge part of my sports career. Electronic generation, we got second place. After that, Mini decided to leave for the win, so he brought me with him. We also got a second place, but that's because, I just have to say it, Mini lost that finals alone. I keep telling that to his face. We were losing 2-0 against Kick. We go for a 2-2 where we did a perfect game on the game 4. Basically, a perfect game is Kick didn't get a single kill, a single Drake, a single tower. They didn't get anything in the game. And once the game was finishing, or once the game finishes and Kick was obviously giga tilted, Mini decides to punch the table, drops a Red Bull on the PC, and then the PC is broken, 2 hours break, Kick can go to dinner, and then we lose. So that's on him. But yeah, after that, we decided, or we were already getting some offers to go outside of Portugal, but we decided that we just wanted to leave Portugal once we achieved something and won the Portuguese league. That's why we joined Kick. It was probably not the best organization for a coach to be. I remember that once I joined that organization, the owner told me, you're here because the players want you to be here. As soon as they don't want you to be here, you're fired. So that's not the best way to start, but it was still a really good team where I met a lot of good friends. Lechais and Chico are both my neighbors here in Portugal, so we also hang out a lot. And obviously, I still had Mini with us. Stayed there around 3 months or so. It was enough to win everything that there was to win in Portugal. And after that, we got sold to Giants by a significant amount. Let's say that it was between 4 and 7K euros, both of us. And that's how we started our journey in Spain. Our first split was shit, was just bad. We didn't even qualify to playoffs. I still remember that so far, obviously this spring split is still not over, but the first split that I was always bad. I would always either not make it to playoffs or not achieve a first place when it was like an easy league, like the Portuguese league and stuff like that. And in Giants, it was no different. It is true, we had a Diamond 3 jungler, so that obviously didn't help. But then we actually changed it, and we also got a new mid laner because Royson just made some kind of excuse that he had some military thing to do in Poland, so he left, and then Jizuke came. And once Jizuke came, it was actually unfair for everyone else, but we just had to do it. And after that, we actually got really, really lucky. And luck is something that was kind of always present in my career because we had a really bad spring split, but so did the Giants team in the LCS, which means that they dropped to the Challenger Series. They had to fire everyone. And at that point, we had already Jizuke, and we joined Gilius to play with us the cup, the Spanish Cup, which we won. And Losark and the Giants management was trying to build up a team to play in the Challenger Series, but every team that was playing tryouts was just getting smashed by us. So they decided to go with us and to add Ruin and Jacktroll to the squad. And after that, we just ended up going into Challenger Series. Challenger Series was somehow easier than I expected. Don't remember us having a lot of issues. We went to the playoffs, 3-0 in the playoffs. It was actually too damn easy. And we just qualified to the LCS because the LCS teams that were at that point were just boosted. So it ended up going easy for us. And after that, we obviously went to Spain. It was part of our contract that we had to play in Spain after we played the Challenger Series. We obviously smashed Spain, won everything that there was to win. These finals, people think that it was balanced because it was a 3-2, but honestly, after the 2-0, we decided to just end some games and make sure that the people that paid for the event were getting their worth. So it was actually calculated. I mean, Antonio played, come on guys, Antonio also played. It was not only Ruin, so But yeah, I mean, it was the first Gamergy that I won. Spanish events are absolutely crazy. There are some stories about Spanish events. I'll tell one. I do remember at the point where we did a Spanish event, and before the game started, we couldn't join the stage because there was literally around 100 people blocking the entry and wouldn't allow us to go in. And there had to be like security and all of that just to allow us to go in. And this event is like 5,000 people, and it was literally the first experience that I had where I just couldn't walk alone without kind of either people talking to me or something like that. And then we go to Schalke. It was an interesting change because once we were playing the Gamergy in Spain, our last event together with that team, my last event together also with Attila after 3 years. By playing that event, we already knew that I was going to Schalke and they were going to Vitality. So the 2 weeks of practice before that event were actually non-existent because Gilius was constantly saying, we can't scrim because otherwise they were giving me info from Vitality. I don't know, this guy's crazy. But I mean, so we had no practice. We already knew all of this, but we were still living in the same city. Obviously, reasons are more than obvious for both of us: more money, more opportunities to go higher, a better organization with a bigger fan base. So the reasons are just obvious. But Spring Split once again was shit. It is what it is. It was once again bad. There was a lot of promise to this team. We were winning almost every single scrim before Upset got sick. But we just could never translate that to stage. And then we had a couple of issues with both the way that me and Mitch were approaching coaching, and that's something that we changed to summer. And also, obviously, Milo, and that's our pride. That's why I ended up changing. Pride is, as we said before, Pride was a really good player, but we had to invest too much time on him, and then it just wasn't that productive to invest that amount of time. That's why we changed to a jungler that is mechanically worse, but would give us some decisiveness. And that's when we go to Summer Split. Summer Split was probably the best split that I had so far, and it's really hard to match it. We started bad. We started 2-4. We went we won like 9 out of the last 10 games, and we finished with a really good record. Ended up getting 3rd place. The change from Amazing helped. The change from Mitch or Crepo stepping a bit back and going into a more managing role, and me taking more of the strategic part. Also helped, but it's hard to explain how do we go from an 8th place team to a 2nd place team. I actually still don't know, but I also don't care. I don't really like go and try to find, oh my God, the reasonings behind it. These moments are just those moments that I just remind to myself, and I just take kind of as a motivation, especially when during the split we were 2-4 with Origen as well. Playoffs started with a splice. It was a hard game, 3-2. Then Mini crying. I mean, it was kind of a hard moment for him, and we talked about this moment. If he would win, he would go to Worlds automatically. If I win, then he could lose to Misfits, and I would go to Worlds. But Misfits are just dirty Inters, so they decided to lose to Vitality. But it was still a really high moment in my career, beating Attila on the first best of 5 that we had, and obviously the finals in Madrid, where some of you guys were also there, and you just saw the environment. This is Spain is always something that will be really, really dear to me, and I know that every time that I'm gonna play on a Spanish event, including these finals, I will be well received, and I will receive a lot of support. I mean, especially now that I'm in Origen, but even before. And this finals were no different. We did had a good plan against them. We beat them on the first game, but then Fnatic was just better. I mean, we can say, and it's fair to say, that we were the third best team in the world because we lost 3-1 to them in the finals, and Cloud9 lost 3-0. So that's just fair to say. Now, the interesting part comes now. Preseason 2019. What a fest. If my preseason 2019 is something similar to competitive NA. It's just, you don't understand anything what's going on, you just have fun watching it. It's just fun. And it started really early because I had 2 months break. I remember that I had about 5 offers to go to NA and another 5 to stay in EU. So I had a lot in my plate. One thing that I did have in mind, though, because I knew that I was going to be one of the highest priorities in both leagues, one thing that I had in mind is that I wanted to decide before the 15, because the free agents period would start on the 19th. Schalke gave me permission to talk with teams before. And I wanted to be sure that I would have a decisive role choosing the players for the team that I wanted. I actually was really close to go to NA, not to Team Liquid, other NA teams, but something that was always in me, and that comes obviously mostly from basketball, is that I was always really competitive, and I knew that if I would go to NA, my career would be over in 1 or 2 years. Because that's kind of what's happening to Proli, for example, at the moment. He went to NA, he was like considered a really good coach here in EU. He goes to NA and he's coaching like the Bang and stuff, and he can't win a single game. It's ridiculous. And going to NA, it's like you just throw a coin and you see if it's a good decision or not. Obviously, it was a lot more money than in EU, but at the end of the day, I want to compete, I want to go to Worlds, and I want to have a chance of going far in Worlds, and for that reason, I chose to stay in EU, and then inside of EU, the whole planning of Refresh, the fact that I'm able to live and to learn of how an excellent team like Astralis, I don't know if you know them or not, they just beat it 16-0 yesterday at Cloud9. I wanted to see from close how does it actually work? How can they get this such a good mindset and win so much? And the whole performance module that they presented me, the fact that we have a nutritionist, the fact that we have 2 sports psychologists, a physiotherapist, a masseur, a team doctor, the conditions are just great. And then the fact that we are living in Denmark. So this was, and it still is, a big question mark to everyone of why we decided to live in Denmark and not in Berlin. First of all, Berlin's food is really bad. So if you guys ever went to Berlin, you know that either you eat currywurst or you're just gonna have like a huge stomach pain. But the main reason was Refresh, which is the owner of Origen, thought that the fact that we have all the installations from Astralis already in Denmark, in Copenhagen, getting used to or taking advantage of those facilities will have a huge impact, and way bigger impact than the fact that we are traveling every day. And in the beginning, it was obviously really hard. The travel, let's say, that burned us out a bit, but the reason is purely because we were trying to make the same schedule as every single team that is in Berlin. And it's impossible for us. It's completely different that a team has rest the whole Sunday, but we don't, because we have to wake up at 10 a.m. to catch a flight at 12. And after that, we only have half of the day of Sunday free. So the adaptation that we did in terms of schedule is week yes, week no. We practice 3 games purely on Monday. The other times on Monday, we just do some team activities, like the cards that we did last Monday. Let's not talk about the cards, actually. So this is still connected to the off season. This is the team that we ended up with. I made really clear to every team that I was talking to that I want Nuktak on my team, no matter what. I mean, just see the games of last week and you know why. Poor Caps. But this was a big priority. This was a big priority for me. And just like me, Nuke was someone that had a lot of offers from NA, a lot of offers from EU. So the fact that we ended up with him was something really decisive for me. So that was the first guy that we ended up having. Then Cold was the second one to join, and I know, because I saw and I read Reddit, that a lot of question marks came on Cold, but I always liked players that had something to prove, and Cold is one of them. Cold, as he's showing on recent performance, is really good and really smart about the game, and the fact that he was someone that has something to prove that he is still on a really high level after his season on Unicorns of Love was one of the reasons why I really wanted him. Alfari, for me, is just mechanically top 2, at least top laner in EU, so that's also an easy pickup. And then Patrick, for me, is the most underrated AD carry that there was in the league. He was the main carry of H2K. A lot of people that don't know that much or how the scene works. I got a lot of messages, why don't you get Sven? Why don't you get Upset? You brought Nuktak, just bring Upset. Why don't you get Attila? You played with him. Like, all these guys are under contract. You just have to check the database and you see that Sven is under contract. You see that Upset is under contract. You see that Attila, Hansama, they're all under contract. And we were really, really surprised when Patrick only had one offer from us and from one team in NA. He had no other offers, because we talked with him literally as soon as the 1 a.m. at the 19 hits. We just messaged him, we talked to him, and he signs on the next day. So it was because, like, we were really stressed out. It's like, if we don't get Patrick, we'll end up having to stay like with Chesclaus or some shit like that. And but so we were really stressed out about this whole Patrick stuff, but it just worked out really well. And then Mithi was actually also easier than I expected. I do like to be surrounded by players that know a lot about the game, because my style of coaching is not a Korean style of coaching, let's say like that, where you just like, you sit them down and you say you have to do this, 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 and that, and boom, 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 and you just go, and this is effective, in my opinion, for the first 2-3 weeks. I like a lot when players are leading reviews, where players are giving a lot of input, and where my job is more to facilitate a discussion and to make sure that we all get to the right conclusion. It takes a bit more time, but in my opinion, it's a bit more endured. And in order for me to achieve that, I need to have smart players on the team. That's why also I wanted Nuktak, that's why I also wanted Cold. And once TSM made Mithi possible, that's why I wanted Mithi. So yeah, I was just really, really happy with the team that we ended up having. Now, these first 2 months in Origen, it was a huge jump, even from Schalke, mostly because of everything that involves Origen. Not only the team and the expectations. I had expectations for myself. I wanted to make sure that I achieved more than the last split, which is really hard. One coach of the split and went to the finals. If I want to get more, I wanted 100% to go to Worlds, but Origen and Refresh give a lot of importance as well to sponsorships, to how we develop our social media, how do we achieve a better connection to fans, healthy lifestyle, how do we adapt to that. So obviously the first 2 months, or let's say the first month, was not that easy, but it was still super, super fun. This image that I'm showing of our sponsorship, or our re-recording kind of a sponsorship deal to Audi, it's -2 degrees instead of this warehouse. We are shaking, but you have no idea how we are shaking. And the problem is that they decided to take around like 15 photos, and I've seen the 15 photos and they all look the same. So. And it was at 9 a.m. in the morning. So, I mean, it wasn't the best experience, but it's something that we all know what we signed off. And it's something that at the end of the day does makes us grow a lot. And then we have the whole lifestyle that Astralis and Refresh and Origen want to implement. Eating healthy, not like in Spain. This comes from Spain, not from Origen. This comes from Spain. In Spain, it was a whole different thing. In Spain, our chef was bad, and he was making food from Friday to Saturday and Sunday. He was not working on weekends, and we were just ordering 2-3 kebabs for each, and just eating, go to the beach on our free day, and just chilling. So this is from Spain. But now I'm trying to pull it back. So we have yoga lessons 1 time a week. We have gym at least two times a week. We all bought a bike, and we are going to the office biking. It's around the 10 minutes biking. The food is always healthy. Unlike Germany, it actually tastes well. The salmon is super fresh. Every Sunday, like my routine at the moment is I go to Berlin at Thursdays. We usually eat sushi one of the days. It's disgusting. When I go back to sushi in Berlin is just disgusting. And when I go back to Copenhagen, I have to go to the sushi place that I know and just spend 50 euros on sushi. I don't care. I need to get that bad sushi taste out of my mouth. But the food there is just really, really good. Nuktak also has a meme about Scandinavia in general. Obviously, it doesn't say Denmark because it's Norway, so it's from Norway, so it has to say Scandinavia, that everything in Scandinavia is just better. So in his theory, Italian food in Scandinavia is just like Italian food, just better. And I mean, yeah, just some crazy ideas from Nuktak. But overall, it has been a really, really grateful experience. We are now on a 5-game winning streak. Some people called us top 2 in Europe. Some people called us top 5. Some people called us top 1. We don't really care. We made a goal at the beginning of the split that we wanted to make to playoffs. That's our goal. Everything that comes after that goal is a bonus, and we like to keep not only a goal as a long term, which is like making 2 worlds, but also short term. So we will only define a new short term goal once we arrive to playoffs, and after that it's just gonna be step by step. That was also the way that led me to the finals with Schalke. So I'm expecting to work once again. And even though I'm here, my job doesn't really stop. My team is screaming at the moment. My phone is vibrating with drafts and with pictures of how we are doing in scrims at the moment. But and for that reason, that's why I came at 6 a.m. I'll fly again, but directly to Berlin in 2, 3, maybe 4 hours. Actually, I don't know. In a couple of hours. And this weekend we'll end up playing with Fnatic and Misfits. Misfits, Jesus. Yeah. So it's obviously it's actually a weird week, because these are 2 teams that are supposed to be really strong, but are not at the moment. They're just not. The thing is that Fnatic is a team that they show in a couple of games that they know how to play and that they can play well. But it's just a matter of, I don't know, how do they wake up in the day, or maybe draft dependent. And Misfits, I actually have no clue, because they changed coach now. So it's also going to be an interesting match. We play against Fnatic at 10, 9 here, and Misfits, I believe, at 6 here, or something like that. It is for sure an important week for us, not only because of these 2 games, but because Schalke plays against G2, which I'm expecting Schalke to lose, which means that if we win both games, we'll at least draw with Schalke. And the split almost coming to an end, even though it doesn't seem like that. There's only 4 weeks left. It is important to start collecting some wins. And what's next for me? I already won all the individual awards that I can win. I still didn't, but that award is free. The esports awards is just free, so I'll win that in a couple of days. I don't know why you're laughing. It's like, it's true. Like, my competition is a guy that got fired before the Spanish league started. But yeah, but in terms of collective awards, I still didn't win shit. And that's what I'm aiming at the moment. Still didn't win a single ULCS or now LEC title. Still didn't go to Worlds. Still didn't make a good run at Worlds. Still didn't make it to Rift Rivals. So one thing that I know and that I am and that I will always be is I will always find a way to find new goals. No matter what they are and no matter what I achieved, I will always find a way to find new goals. And once I go to Rift Rivals and once I go to Worlds and once I win a LEC, I will have another goal ready in mind. And if it is another challenge, then I will have it. One thing that it is really important for me and that I kind of went through by experience, and I think it can apply by everything that all of you as well do in life, is that in every single slide that you saw, every single one, there was failure. There was failure here, there was failure here, there was failure here, here, not here. But yeah, in most of the slides there was failure. If we count this slide as one, because it's one team, and the beginning of the split, it was also kind of a failure, there was always failure. And there will always be failure. And there's no way that anyone can succeed without failing first. What is important is that after failing, I did not give up. The organization that I was in did not give up on me. And I found new ways, and I found ways for me to grow, for me to improve, and for me to make the team work. And not only I could apply this on what's up now in Origen and for the rest of my career, but so can any one of you in every project that you're making, even if it is a project with David Matos. It's just a fact. So by saying this, I just want you guys to know that just because I'm in the position that I am, it doesn't mean that my route was easy. It doesn't mean that I just sort of arrived here randomly. I arrived here through failure, to recognizing it, and to be improving at every step of the way. So this is basically my story, how I got here, how I am, who I am at the moment. I think that now it's actually kind of the most important or the most interesting part of the presentations. There is questions. Yeah, wow, Manel. I'll answer in Portuguese if you ask in Portuguese. Não, não podes. Estou farto de falar inglês, cara.
So we'll have a few questions now. Anyone?
Ok. Guilhoto, primeiro, o que é que se passa com o teu cabelo? Segundo, portanto, no ano passado teve cá o Ghost Crawler, certo? O da Riot, em que falou em termos de patches e em termos de mudanças que são feitas tipo, ao longo da vida, ao longo do ano no LoL. E queria saber a tua opinião sobre isso. Ele disse que iam tentar fazer só 2 grandes mudanças por ano e depois eram tipo patches de arranjar essas mudanças. E não sei se sentes que agora o LoL se é um jogo que está constantemente a mudar e não dá para vocês se adaptarem o suficientemente rápido ao patch, ou se sentem que precisam ainda mais mudanças para o jogo não se tornar aborrecido, etc.
Primeiro, sobre o meu cabelo, cala-te. Sobre os patches, é um tópico até interessante, porque para nós equipas, neste momento até está mais brusco. Nós temos menos tempo do que tínhamos antes para preparar. Neste momento só temos uma semana, antes tínhamos 2. Até novos Champions, antes tínhamos 1 mês, agora temos 2 semanas. Acho que isso de 2 mudanças grandes é balelas, não está a acontecer nem de longe. Este ano até está a acontecer muito mais mudanças do que antes, mas sinceramente isso não é propriamente algo que nos preocupa. Nem é propriamente algo em que nós pensamos se o jogo está a ficar interessante ou não. Na verdade, nós não queremos saber disso. Nós o que sabemos é que se uma equipa quer ser boa e se uma equipa quer ganhar, tem que ter mecanismos de adaptação E mesmo que o patch mude e que certos campeões sejam mais fortes que outros, os fundamentals vão continuar a estar lá e desde que nós trabalhemos isso, deveria correr tudo bem. Se não, somos só maus. Não há propriamente uma desculpa.
Como é que é, meu caro? Tenho duas perguntas para fazer. A primeira é um pouco mais relacionado com a parte de coaching. Tu tiveste duas bases, uma em basquetebol, ou seja, um desporto que já está mais desenvolvido, já tem história toda atrás, e agora em esportes, que é uma coisa que está agora a crescer e a ganhar algum terreno. Queria perguntar qual é que é a diferença entre a influência que um coach tem, por exemplo, em basquetebol, como é que tu consegues influenciar os jogadores e as táticas de jogo, para a diferença entre em esportes, no LoL, como é que tu consegues influenciar os jogadores e a tática de jogo. E a segunda pergunta é arco depois, não é?
O quê?
Arco depois.
Não. Tenho um voo para apanhar. Não. Digamos que no basquetebol é muito mais fácil de criar coisas, de criar as tuas próprias ideias, porque depende muito de características físicas que os teus jogadores têm. Também, por exemplo, no basquetebol eu tomava uma approach muito mais de gritar é bom e gritar é saudável, gritar com elas, porque basicamente, quando tu estás a gritar com um jogador que está a jogar algo físico, estimulas reações químicas que o teu corpo produz simplesmente para os teus músculos estarem mais ativos. No caso do LoL é completamente diferente, ou isso é falso. Se eu grito com um jogador, pode ser até mimado ou não sei o quê, então, e acabou o jogo dele, mas é mais de... No basquetebol tu procuras criar coisas, tu procuras criar táticas que possas repetir e que possam ser sistematizadas. No LoL tu procuras mais chegar à forma perfeita de jogar o jogo na tua leitura. Então tu tentas encontrar um estilo que se adapta à tua equipa e tentas, tudo o que falas a partir de macro nesse sentido é praticamente uma continuação daquilo que vais trabalhando. Em vez de ser meter tática nova, é mais trabalhar esta parte que depois vai levar a trabalhar esta parte, que depois vai levar a trabalhar esta parte e começas a criar basicamente quase apenas uma rotina. E para mim essa é a grande diferença que há entre praticamente qualquer desporto tradicional e o LoL.
Olá, obrigado por teres vindo. São duas perguntas. A primeira era a tua opinião sobre a mudança do Caps de Fnatic para G2 e a maneira como ele se integrou tão bem na equipa. E a segunda é a tua opinião sobre os jogadores que vêm de Challenger para profissional e as principais diferenças.
Bem, isto está em stream, não está? Porra. A mudança do Caps, sinceramente, ele faz o que quiser. Ele explicou que não se estava a sentir bem nos Fnatic e sentia que os Fnatic tinham problemas e então foi para uma equipa que se adequa mais a ele e acho que isso também responde ao porquê é que ele se adequou tão bem aos G2, que é, ele só se quer divertir. Tive bastante oportunidades de falar com o Caps e de o conhecer um bocado. Inclusive, nós viajamos praticamente com o pai do Caps todas as vezes que vamos para Berlim e de volta, porque ele também é de Copenhaga, e vem muito de... tudo o que há à volta dele não existe. Existe o LoL, existe ele divertir-se, ainda é um bocado, digamos, criança, mas ele no fundo só se quer divertir, e o Perks é parecido, o Jankos, toda a gente sabe, é o mesmo, e depois... O Mickey e o Under simplesmente vão atrás e acho que foi por isso que ele se enquadrou tão bem. Agora, o porquê da mudança, acho que aparentemente fez bem, não é? Quer dizer, aparentemente fez bem. Agora, é mais, acho que o motivo vem mais no sentido de queria divertir-se e viu que há problemas nos Fnatic, então simplesmente mudou. Agora, a forma como mudou, isso depois pode-se... Isso não é para mim, é para a Riot de analisar, e já analisou, e não houve poaching, por isso... de acordo com a Riot, não houve poaching, por isso, sim. E jogadores de Challenger, neste momento a diferença não é assim tão grande. porque o jogo está muito mais mecânico do que antes. Acho que antes sim havia uma grande diferença de conhecimento do jogo, principalmente, de padrões de trading, mas se eu acho que na América a diferença ainda é muito grande, mesmo os profissionais sendo maus, na Europa tu tens tantas ligas nacionais e mesmo que sejas um jogador de Challenger, tu nunca vais dar o salto imediato para a LEC, vais sempre dar o salto para uma equipa de Espanha, para uma equipa alemã, francesa, whatever, e depois disso é que dás o salto. Então, tu já tens uma coisa que era o que faltava muito antes, que é aquela formação antes de chegares a uma equipa a sério. Então, o salto não é assim tão grande. Por isso é que eu acho que, neste momento, jogadores como os que entraram, o Abedaga, o Humanoid, o Self-Made, o Erdem não é bem rookie, mas pronto. Esses três, principalmente, a adaptação é fácil porque eles mecanicamente são muito bons e tiveram pelo menos um ano de experiência competitiva como equipa.
I'm going to the other side now.
Toma. Foste.
Primeiro de tudo, queria dar os parabéns por teres dado smash na G2 que antes estava flawless. E ia-te dar boa sorte para os próximos jogos, mas vindo a Misfits e Fnatic não vais precisar. A minha pergunta é, quando estavas na Schalke, era uma equipa que começou mais ou menos lackluster e tipo, subiu durante o decorrer do Summer Split para acabar em segundo, só mesmo perdendo para os Fnatic. Agora que tu mudaste para a Origen, que tem já nomes gigantes como Nucda, que vem contigo, The Fischio e Xpeke, qual é que foi tipo, a maior diferença entre estás numa equipa que era mais pequena e que subiu e começar agora já numa equipa com vários nomes muito...
Aproveito e vou até contar uma história de qual é que foi a minha primeira interação com o Peque. Estava eu em Espanha, no Giants, e íamos jogar contra os Origen. E o Peque estava atrás de nós e eu pedi simplesmente uma sala para poder falar com os jogadores e dar uma charla kind of motivacional. E a LVP não me deixou e a minha charla foi alguma coisa como: os Origen são merda, vamos dar-lhes na boca. E enquanto eu estou a dizer isto, entre outras palavras que não posso dizer, o Pega está a passar atrás de mim. A ouvir isto. E foi-se queixar ao meu chefe e tal, mas porque nessa altura o meu chefe patrocinava também os Origen e tal, mas pronto, acabou por não acontecer nada. Mas para mim, no fundo, não muda muito, porque já vim desse segundo lugar. E também porque é uma organização que, sendo grande, é grande maioritariamente em Espanha, onde é um público onde eu me sinto muito, muito confortável. São fãs que, sinceramente, conseguem ser... dão-te galhetas, mas eu tendo já um conforto com a cena espanhola e com os fãs espanhóis. Não foi algo muito transformador, ou não foi algo muito... que me causou muito transtorno, até porque eu tive muita mão no projeto e na escolha de jogadores e etc. Assim que, mesmo se tu vires, esta equipa, mesmo em termos de jogadores, é parecida à do Schalke, no sentido em que nenhum destes 5 jogadores conseguiu ir aos playoffs 2 vezes no último ano.
Any more questions? Okay. I'll go back right there.
Ok, Guilhoto, duas perguntas, um bocado negativas. A primeira é, estavas a falar um bocado sobre a ideia de, se tu se calhar fosses fazer coaching para a NA, provavelmente a tua carreira acabava em 1 ou 2 anos. Agora, eu sei que tu dizes isto um bocado tipo em jeito de meme e de trash talking, mas a verdade é que, ok, certo, mas tens pessoas, por exemplo, como o Dylan Falco, que era um treinador na NA, veio para a Europa, ganhou tudo, quase o que havia para ganhar com os Fnatic, quase tudo, é verdade. E ao mesmo tempo, não, mas deixa-me acabar, e ao mesmo tempo, a verdade é que quando ele agora saiu dos Fnatic, havia muita gente, Reddit analysts ou não, a dizer que ele fazia muita falta na equipa e sobretudo em termos de drafting, etc. O que eu te quero perguntar é, isto é obviamente um bocadinho trash talk, mas tu sentes mesmo que as tuas capacidades iam denegrir se fosses para a NA treinar uma equipa e que ia ser uma fiesta, etc., e que depois não tinhas competências para estar cá, ou se achas que, enfim, ou se não é o caso. E a segunda pergunta é, o ano passado nós fomos ver-te à LCS numa semana em que jogavas contra os Fnatic e que também jogavas contra outra equipa que era mais lower tier, tu conseguiste perder os 2 jogos, pá, custou-nos um bocado no bolso, custou-nos um bocado no bolso, e eu já estive a ver, este ano vamos ver-te na 8ª semana, vai jogar contra os Rogue e vai jogar contra os SK, são 2 equipas muito fraquinhas, vai valer o bilhete de avião e vai valer os bilhetes de LCS ou não? Obrigado.
Primeiro que tudo, eu perdi estes 2 jogos por causa de ti, porque foste lá. Está a ver? Primeiro, isso foi no Spring, agora também vai ser no Spring. Opa, tu não me lixes o Spring Split outra vez. Mas sobre o NA, o Dylan Falco é um tema até delicado, porque ele teve nos Fnatic antes do Young Bucks estar lá e a equipa não resultou. A mesma equipa que estava lá agora, obviamente a mudança do Buipo. E sim, há muitas críticas sobre drafts agora, mas também se tem que ver que, tal como eu tenho a arma do Nuke, que me faz ganhar bastantes drafts, eles antes tinham o Caps, que fazia praticamente a mesma coisa. Eu sei que se eu tiver em red side e deixar a last pick para o Nuke, ele vai dar uma contra-pick. Não interessa o campeão que for, saca Queen, Wukongs, sei lá, saca qualquer coisa e ganha. E acho que fez-lhes muito mais falta a saída até do SOAS e do Caps do que propriamente o Dylan Falco. E sim que é verdade que isso aconteceu ao Dylan Falco, mas nesse caso até podes dizer que é um bocado coin flippy o que aconteceu, porque ele chegou à NA, tinha uma super equipa, conseguiu não ganhar a NA com aquela super equipa, mas como ficou em segundo, abriu uma vaga nos Fnatic, o Jesus falou bem dele, porque o Jesus nessa altura estava nos Fnatic e ele arranjou um lugar nos Fnatic e tumba. O que eu quero dizer com isto do NA é que se eu juntar uma equipa e não ganhar no NA, não é que... O motivo pelo qual eu acho que as minhas capacidades iam diminuir é porque muito da minha pesquisa não só vem de outros jogos, de LCK, LPL, etc., mas também daquilo que eu vejo nas scrims. E se eu estou sempre a ver a mesma macacada de ir mid e não sei o quê, acho que é muito mais fácil eu converter-me a essa macacada do que eu mudar a macacada toda à volta. E é mais nesse sentido. Se vale a pena... Epá, se nós perdermos contra os Rogue, eu dou-te uma camisola assinada.
Okay, one last question.
Primeiro de tudo, boas. Parabéns pelo teu percurso até agora. Eu não acompanho assim muito a scene de LoL, mas acompanho os esportes em geral, estou mais dentro da scene de CS. E de vez em quando no Twitter, vejo-te lá e dou-te sempre um likezito, por isso já vais com a sorte. Tenho uma pergunta para ti, assim, é mais acerca da comparação entre o respeito ou o valor que tu sentes que os coaches têm em Portugal versus lá fora.
Lá fora acho que depende muito de ti como coach. Eu sei de coaches lá fora que não têm respeito dos jogadores e sei de coaches que têm muito respeito dos jogadores. Não só é da organização, mas é também um bocado de ti. Por exemplo, pelo menos eu, pela minha rotina, eu faço um esforço para ser o primeiro a chegar à oficina, ser dos últimos a sair, ter a certeza que se eu quero que eles vão às atividades físicas, eu também vou. Basicamente, guiar por exemplo, e isso é o que me faz ter o respeito dos jogadores. E uma coisa que eu comecei a sentir que é muito importante é qualquer coisa como ditador vai-te fazer perder o respeito. E se tu... Uma boa forma de conseguir ganhar o respeito, pelo menos lá fora, é ter a certeza que consegues ouvir e quando estás a discutir com um jogador algum tópico, de o fazeres com um montão de exemplos e com uma pesquisa por detrás. E isso depois vai gerando uma snowball e claro que tu tens que ser mais ou menos inteligente e aproximar-te de certos jogadores primeiro. Se ganhares o respeito desses certos jogadores, vais ganhar o respeito do grupo. Isso é assim em sei lá, ciências sociais, digamos. É basicamente assim que funciona. O problema em Portugal é que a player pool é muito, muito pequena. Então, por exemplo, na For the Win eu tinha respeito pelos jogadores, porque também tinha backup do Teodósios. Nos IGEN, sinceramente, acho que não importava muito, era um bocado mais amador, mas acabei por ter o respeito dos jogadores porque, como era muito amador e eu acabava por tentar ser um bocado mais profissional, acabei por ganhar o respeito. Nos Kick, eu ganhei o respeito dos jogadores, mas era muito fácil os jogadores perderem o respeito porque eu não tinha o apoio da organização. Por isso, acho que, sem dúvida, depende de ti, mas em Portugal há muito mais uma mentalidade de que o jogador manda, o jogador decide e tu quase que te tens de submeter um bocado porque, apesar de teres respeito, esse respeito pode não significar que tu possas guiar a equipa à tua maneira. Se é que isso faz algum sentido.
Acho que sim. Então, um follow-up assim muito rápido. Sentes que em Portugal as organizações em si não dão valor aos coaches?
Nem todas, nem todas. Há algumas que começam a dar. Eu falo do tempo que eu tive em Portugal.
Sim.
Não posso falar de como está agora. Sei que, por exemplo, a For the Win dava na minha altura e dar valor aos coaches é uma coisa muito subjetiva em Portugal. É mais... Algumas organizações simplesmente não acreditam que para alcançar os seus objetivos precisam de um coach e que muitas vezes esse coach está lá porque a liga o requer. Isto está em stream, não quero ir muito flaming. Para aí.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Please give another round of applause for André Guilhoto.